Hi guys and welcome back to Through the Window podcast. You're joined with host Ben
and Dan.
And today we had on the very eccentric and half-made metal man, Toby Pollitt.
Yeah, he is an awesome guy. I think if you was to cut him in half, he would just bleed Monster Energy and titanium metal because that's what he loves.
Yes, indeed. We learnt loads of stuff from metal, mosh pitting, fighting, being a barman, and everything in between. It was quite fun.
It was. And do you know what, Ben? I think his Through the Window answer was one of the most wholesome ones we've had yet.
It was. And I was not expecting it from a man of his calibre. It was very interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this episode. And if it was me... If I was in your shoes, Mr. or Mrs. Listener, I'd be putting my headphones on right away and I'll be moving people out of my way because I'm going to stay in this zone for at least an hour. That's how long it was, wasn't it, Joss? An hour. So, yeah, I think we're good. Lock in, stay loaded, and enjoy this episode.
Stay loaded.
Stay loaded.
Thank you.
Stay loaded.
Toby, you are someone we've had on before, although you were part of a separate entity and or band at the time. You joined as Getters with Declan, which was an eventful podcast. I think that was our first four-man podcast at the time.
It was
Breaking
good.
Records.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was nice to have you on, but we wanted to hear more of you, and that's why I think we brought you here today to get the pure 100% Toby Pollitt experience.
And it's so nice we had to do it twice, baby. Oh, yeah.
You're joining us with, obviously, part of a new band now. Different music type.
Yeah, well, Tyrants and Glassjaw. I've got two new bands now, yeah. So I've got Tyrants, which is... This is where I muck up the genres, and they're going to be like, call me out. Like, my boys will text me, like, you said the wrong metal genre. God, I want to say, like, can't say heavy metal, like deathcore, hardcore, metal, and then Glass Jag, which is me, Josh, and Dan from Getters. Still doing like indie rock, maybe a bit more rocky. So yeah, two new projects and a few bits and bobs. Yeah,
keeping busy then.
Yeah, super busy.
So first and foremost, obviously, a lot of people knew you as Getters before. Mm-hmm. What happened?
I think we all just grew up. When we started that band, I was 17.
How old are you now?
No, I was 19. I'm 23. That's a lie. I think I was 19 when I started Getters.
Okay.
Now I'm trying to think there. Now I'm 23. Obviously, the boys are like 24, 25 because I was the youngest. And I think just flew different directions and different musical wants, really. Like, I always wanted to do the metal stuff and a bit heavier rock. And then, obviously, it was COVID too. So, like, when that happened, not allowed to see each other, all in your asses. And, like, for the first week, it's like, yeah, we're live streaming here. We're doing this, live stream gigs and all that. And then, like, after, like, 3 weeks, you're like, oh, man, everyone's doing them. So, like, no one's... First week, I guess everyone tunes in, like, oh, yeah, I get to watch my favourite band do a live stream. And 3 weeks later, it's like, right, we can either get super creative with it, or honestly, like, it flares out. And I think all with Getters, we honestly flared out, because we literally had just ended tour and released the single and the new stuff that we talked about in the last podcast. It went well, but we couldn't even go out and play it. And we just released it. We even released the last single we released in lockdown, and couldn't do anything really with it. So, yeah, just kind of COVID, man.
COVID killed it then, would you say?
COVID killed Getters, I'd say, yeah. But then Boss from Tyrants, because my mate Josh White, the frontman of Tyrants, was texting me like, oh, mate, as soon as this ends, let's make some metal, baby. And I was like, yeah, baby.
Were you always into that?
Yeah, man. I think you guys knew from school. Like, oh, yeah, I've always been into like metal. You know, always, when I was younger, listened to like Bring Me, Linkin Park. Like, that's like the starting base from like year 7.
The entry level, isn't it?
Yeah, the entry,
gateway
like,
drug.
Slipknot, like, memories of mine. You get like Slipknot on Kerrang, and then you venture into your different genres and all that. You kick back, go back, listen to Pantera, and then you listen to all your new bands. So yeah, metal was always a thing, I think, that I was ready to get into. But I think it's harder to find people who want to play metal in Swindon, I'd say, than like indie music, do you know what I mean?
How did you find it playing indie? Did it feel a bit wrong?
No, I enjoyed it because I was with the boys, obviously. Like, I enjoyed it because I was with them, yeah. Indie music's cool, and I still love indie music, but, you know, I love heavy music and metal. I think I do enjoy playing it on stage more, but where it was like kicking it with the boys, I still enjoyed playing it on stage because it was hanging out with the boys almost. You know
so the lifestyle is what you enjoyed.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. To call it that, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been into a heavier genre of music like that? Have you ever listened to that?
when I was younger, and weirdly as I've gotten older again, I've gotten back into it. But I remember my brother, who was like 5 years older, gave me his gaming PC when I was in like year 8, and it had like Children of Bodom on and stuff.
Oh god, okay,
So it was like really like fucking dark metal, and then I listened to that for years and years and years, and then got into like Atreyu, Pantera, Disturbed, Soilwork, all that sort of shit. And I was into gaming at the time as well. And like back then, like any sort of like circa 2005 gaming video, it was always metal.
Was it? Montage,
it was always montage metal.
MLG montage.
So it was like I think that was just everything I listened to, and then I explored other genres and stuff. But for me, like Linkin Park and Papa Roach were my gateway drugs into it. But I've never been to a concert. I've never been to a metal concert. The most metal-y thing I've probably seen was Prodigy at Swindon.
Oh, well, you saw Prodigy in Swindon?
Yeah, at the live...
Oasis?
No.
Where?
The BBC...
Oh, Big Weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Shit. Yeah.
Rest in peace, Keith Flint.
Yeah, man.
Legend in the game. I only got into Prodigy recently, actually. I want to say, like, past 2 years. Like, just before he passed, I only got into him, or got into them, like, as of recent. Like, I always knew, like, Outer Space. And then, like, what was it? There's a band called Strange Bones who cover Spitfire.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a mental song. And then, like, Josh was like, mate, it's a cover. And I was like, wait, what? Like, the whole time I was like, oh, mate, that Strange Bones song is sick. And Josh, like, Heavs was like, it's a cover, mate. And I was like, no way. And I was like, well, I've been telling everyone I love the Strange Bones song.
And it was like...
and I was like, oh, mate, they're so good at writing. Like, oh, no. Yeah.
Talking about, like, you've never been to a hardcore or, like, a gig that is of that genre. What is it like performing?
Performing?
Yeah. First of all, let's go in the performing way. What's it like performing there, and then also being there as a viewer?
Yes.
Because, like, we've never been to something like that.
Cheers, boys. Considering I've done a Swindon gig with the Ball of Tyrants already. Nah.
So apologies about that.
Yeah, come on. It's I think with metal, it's more like, because I don't think there's many metal bands as indie bands. There's honestly bigger crowds, I think, and there's like, cause there's less to choose from. With our shows, it was anarchy. Our first show was in Bristol at the Exchange, but the downstairs, not the main bit. Oh my lord! These in the morning, don't do them. Mental. So like, obviously it's pits. It's part of the culture. Like, you know, you get some people who throw down a bit too much, and you're like, all right, buddy. I don't want to get spin kicked at 7 p.m.
Is there a limit then? Like, is on what people can and should do? Is there like an unwritten rule?
This is where like, I get like the gatekeepers of the scene. No, I think it's just don't be a dick. You know, if someone falls over, pick them up. You know, I remember the worst thing I've had happen to me, and I didn't get mad. I think it was Desolated, and this is donkeys ago. I think I just turned 18. It was in Bristol, and I remember I literally, like, one of my first pints ever, I had my cider, walk up and just have it spin kicked out my hand. And I was there like, you're like close to losing it. You're like close to losing it, and they're like, nah. But like, yeah, pints can go flying, which is cool. Plastic cups, that's the solution to any problem, is plastic cups in life. But yeah, I think, and then playing it, I'm more into it. I think I lose myself a bit more on stage because I'm like feeling it, you know what I mean? The grooves, like when you're chugging it.
You're performing bass, aren't you?
Yeah.
On this as well?
Yeah, 5 strings now. Had to go even deeper. So like, yeah, I remember I went to practice for Tyrants the first time with a 4-string. My guitarist, Kane, shout out Kane. Love him. He's like, do you have a 5-string? And I was like, oh, what? And he's like, yeah, you're going to have to tune that right down. And I remember, like, so with a 5-string, obviously, it's a deeper string, so still tight. So I had to use an E string. Any bassists here in this are probably going to scream at me. I had to turn my E down to, like, drop A, and it was, like, floppy, like a Highworth Wamford bass guitar floppy in the music block. So, yeah, I was there. I had to... Got the Ibanez now. Please sponsor me. Got the Ibanez, and, like... Yeah, love it. Love just playing metal. I
don't think I'd bode well in a mosh pit, Dan.
And I think that's we love you as a person, but I think the genre of music that Tyrants is a little bit, for me, a little bit too intimidating, and I think that I'd go to something like the Vic, or were you at level 3 or the Vic?
Yeah, the Vic.
I feel like I'd rock up there and be like, I don't feel right.
I can love it from afar. I think.
I'd love to, but maybe that's the misconception, because maybe like people like us should just be going up there and be like, fuck it, let's just have a good time. Do you think?
He's like, yeah,
no.
It's actually a bit too heavy for you.
When I was at 18, I was like, yeah, I'm in there. And then, like, my cardio went. So now, like, you need good cardio to pit. I swear to God, because I do, like, 5 minutes. We were on this last tour, and we played with a band called Vicarage, shout out. and they were sick, and I was like, nah, I'm feeling it. Like, sometimes there's a band, I'm just feeling it. I'm going to show some love, throw down. 5 minutes in, I'm like, get my inhaler now. I'm like, the asthma's kicked in. I'm like, oh my Lord. Like, you can appreciate it from afar. I think I do a lot of the times. Like, when I was 18, I was like, yeah, I'm throwing down, I'm having it every show, I'm going in, being the pit king. Or like, do you know what I mean? Like, people trying to be like in there. But now, you can appreciate it from afar for sure. I think, just a head bob always works. That's what I'm like, to be fair.
So just to dissect that, if I went into a mosh pit and someone punches me, is that like fair game? Is that
well, not if it's like a direct, like, hey man, like,
so
depends.
So
like,
what do I do if I go in? Do I just start like
throw
windmilling?
Kicks, windmills, yep.
That's allowed.
Yeah. Just,
What do I do as a newbie coming in to
a
fit
newbie to a mosh pit?
Yeah, please, like, what's
the level 100 mafia boss in the pit? How am I going to defeat him? Those Instagram ads.
That's such a good analogy.
Yeah. Oh snap! Level 1 pitter. Level 1 pitter. Maybe bro. I don't even just the 2-step. I don't know. Maybe don't start at a Tyrant's gig. No, definitely.
Good to know. All right, then we'll start with like
a nice like
Ben Howard or something like that.
crime artist.
Evanescence or something.
Evanescence. Start with like maybe a grime gig where everyone's just jumping about. No, that's a joke.
So what would be classed as like something you shouldn't do in a mosh pit? Just like literally target someone?
Yeah, don't target someone, man. Like you get some bands where like, it's called like beatdown, where like people just genuinely go in the crowd like and like just throw kicks at everyone. You can see people are like, oh man, this sucks. I came to watch a band. Just don't be a dick, man. Like if someone falls over, just be courteous. Know your surroundings. And normally like there's two sides, so like you've got the pit and then the people watching, like, and it's two different worlds, I guess, if you know what I mean.
So as long as you're not in the mosh pit, you're completely fine.
Yeah, probably. Unless there's like some rogue
begins around you.
You never know, man. There's always like someone bigger, man. I've always been in pits and I'm like, right, I'm a big lad, And then I see like this 20-stone meteorite, and I'm not talking like a big dude. I'm talking like he's muscle, he's jacked, and he's like, yeah, man. I listened to like Pantera at birth. Like he came out the womb to a soundtrack, it's like the Doom soundtrack. You guys know Doom, the game. He comes out to like main song, and I'm like, oh, this guy. I'm looking like My Little Pony compared to this guy. And like, there's always one where like the pit comes and they just meteorite from the pit into the people standing, and I'm like, oh no, dodge them. Like, yeah.
Can it start anywhere then? Could you just be watching a band, the mosh pit will start literally in front of you?
Depends who it is. Yeah, there are people just like, yeah. Obviously, where there's a crowd of mates and they probably get hyped. Yeah.
How does it start? Do the band initiate?
Yeah, always. Yeah, man. It's
there's
like
a song that kicks it off. Is there?
Yeah,
like
a circle pit. There's always one of those. We remember when we were writing Wretch, our new single, plug, we should be like, this is the circle pit song. This is the song that gets everyone like in a circle, as opposed to any other shape that might be called like a square pit. That's not a thing. So yeah, songs, popular songs can initiate it, I guess. And then, you get someone on the mic like, start this pit. And then I'm there like, okay, let's go. Like, back to the bar. Because I don't want to get hit today.
Are you on vocals with Tyrants?
Yeah, I do some gutturals, inhales.
How do you do that?
So you can exhale or inhale. I like inhale and like clench my like windpipes.
Are you able to give us a demo on, or tell us how to
get me this and me now? It's so before anyone watching this, it is like 10 a.m. I'm never usually up at this time, but for the boys, I got up. But yeah,
thank you, mate.
Kane was like trying to teach me to do exhales. I can't do. So Kane and Josh in the band do it exhale, so like just like outwards. I remember I was doing like just like at practice, and they're like, oh man, that's a really cool exhale, and I was like, it's an inhale, and they thought that was really like alien. Now I was like, exhaling's really alien. I won't do this. Kane's like, I'll try this, and it sounded like a car not starting. And he was like, oh, you can learn to do it. I was like, yeah, I'll just keep doing inhales. Cheers, dude. Like,
so you can do either or then. It doesn't matter what you do as long as it sounds good.
Yeah, as long as like my mic's the lowest level of volume on stage, we're all sweet.
Yeah.
I remember like we got 3 across the front, so like it sounds like just a barrier of death.
Yeah.
So, yes. Yeah, it sounds mega.
That's sick, man. It's so cool. And what about Glass Jag then?
Glass Jag.
What's the movements with that with those guys? It must be nice to still work with those away from
with now. Like Josh and Dan. I think was it when the first lockdown ended? Obviously, me and Josh see each other in Mackenzie's because I was still working at Mackenzie's at the time.
Shout out, by the way, best barman.
Thank you.
Missed those days.
Yeah, Josh is the best barman. I love Josh. Yeah. And obviously, like, we're best mates, and we kind of were like, oh, we miss the music, but we both wanted something heavy. I think, like, we're massively inspired by Biffy Clyro. Like, Biffy Clyro are, like, one of the top 5 bands on earth for me. Like, they're insane. technical. They're just different as well. Mm-hmm. And then saw Dan again, and we were like, yeah, sweet, let's try it. And I think Deck was doing something else at the time, and we wanted to go a bit more rocky. And Deck's now doing something with an artist called Dakota Simpson, I think. So shout out to them. They're doing a sick thing. They played at the Top, and recently I heard it was amazing. So yeah, we just kind of kicked it back, stripped it back to like the starting roots again, and just, yeah.
So 3-man band now?
Yeah, 3-man.
How's that?
Sick. There might be a fourth guitarist. We're in chats with someone. A new person.
Exclusive, mate.
Exclusive, yeah. I'll drop the info after the podcast.
Nice.
Because, like, you know, I don't put pressure on them. They watch this and then I say no, I'll be like, oh no. Yeah, 3-man's been cool. And it's really cool for writing because we're all really in click, but like, it's always nice to have a second guitarist, you know what I mean? Because Hevs can't do rhythm and then like shred a solo. Mm-hmm. So I need someone who either wants to, you know, shred a solo or play rhythm. So, and I can't do it on bass because I'm busy being a thick boy playing those thick notes, you know what I mean? And Dan's there drumming, so, you know, just hitting the...
Do you ever get anything political by being in 2 bands? Like, what happens if someone wants to book you on the same day?
Yeah. Oh, this has genuinely happened, like, where, like... So I didn't know, like, Tyrant's, like, hasn't blown up, but it's got really good really quick. It's not, like, political. The worst one I've done is I wore Tyrant... And Glass Jag and Tyrants both love each other. They all met. They were really cool with each other. I wore my Tyrants band merch to a Glass Jag practice. I just walked in and was like, I'm a dick. I didn't realise. I just slapped any T-shirt on because, you know, it was a day off. That wasn't political. It was just kind of like, oh, really? You really just did
doing that?
Do you know what I mean? Like, so if I wore, like, another podcast T-shirt coming in,
it
wasn't mine, you'd be like, obviously I'm Ottr for life. OTDR, baby. Through the Window podcast. But
that's a snippet.
Yeah, there you
that's
go.
My
that's
ringtone.
The snippet. That's the text alert.
Back when you could make your own ringtones.
Yeah.
Keying them in.
Yeah. You know what? I'll take that in a minute. Yeah, so like it has like, I guess it's first come first serve. Not trying to say I've got a die or anything, but like whoever books it first, no matter the size of the gig, you know, I commit to that. Unless like Redenfest came through, and I'd be like to the other one, like, yeah, Redenfest. That's the gig counsellor. That's why I'm like, right, boys, sorry, I've got a sec off said other gig for like a big fest. But yeah, first come first serve, really.
Is there a band you enjoy playing for more? Is that a loaded question?
I think I haven't played with Glass Jag live yet, so I couldn't answer.
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah, no. So I'll tell you in 2 weeks or a week's time.
Where are you playing?
Played. The Bullingdon with the K's, October 11th. That's with Glass Jaguar. So yeah, I'll let you know how that goes.
Sick, man.
Yeah, I might come back and be like, oh, I hate Indy. I'm sticking to the metal.
We saw Getters at the Vic, didn't we, that time?
Yeah.
And you took your shirt off.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember loving it.
I was jacked back then. Now I'm a sad sap of McDonald's and Corona Domino's. So, you know, and like honestly, like I think when they started doing hot dog stuffed crust, that was the end of my... That's when the Love Handles came back.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
for good.
Yeah, I was like, hot dog on the pizza and in the pizza. Get in.
Tyrants kind of blew up like pretty big on Spotify, right?
Yeah,
you've got like some big listens. What? Obviously, aside from the sick music,
yeah.
Is there a way of beating the algorithm or getting more listens? Is there something like that?
So like this is where we've talked about this before. Remember we talked about Viagra Boys and doing the marketing. So I was like, yeah, sweet. When we said that, I was like, right, Instagram is the key. Did that, and it was really cool for views on Instagram, but I think it all garners down to like, yeah, your marketing. But we got, for the second track, we got Metal UK, which is like a small Spotify playlist. So I was like, get in. Because when you get a Spotify playlist, it shows on your page.
Sick.
Like, official playlists.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, look at us. Spotify knows who we are. So it is genuinely, like, random. Like, you can ask, there are so many bands in Swindon who, like, got it and not got it. But we got, I think it's like new metal tracks, which is like 500,000 likes on it.
Wow.
So that's how I got a load of streams. Like, so like it's genuinely random. I think there's like people who are like, oh, if you want to get playlists, do this. And I think it's just some dude at Spotify who likes that genre is probably like listening to that genre. I think they're called curators.
Yeah.
And then they pick the songs and then put them on the playlists. So I remember Apostle, which is our like most streamed one at the moment. I think it's on like 80K.
Fuck, that's so good.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, I know. That's what I was like. Yeah, good fit. And yeah, so that got like Metal UK. So we were like, I remember I was working at the Vault at the time, and I was like on shift, and I was like, woo, yeah, like gun fingers in the air. Like, bah, 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 bah. Then the next day we got new metal tracks, which is like makes that look like a sad cheeseburger, whilst this is like the Big Mac of playlists. Sorry, I love McDonald's, as you can tell. The amount of times I've mentioned it.
Yeah.
So then we're like, oh, no way. I'm like, I'm going to quit my job. Like, no, like, but yeah, so it's genuinely, I think, random on how the curator chooses it. I could be completely wrong. Spotify could like comment on this and be like, idiot. But
Spotify do follow, to be fair.
yeah, I heard so. That's how we got last time, the plug. But yeah. But I think that when we talked about like marketing, like it does help because obviously if you garner a big listens from the start, obviously if something gets 100k in a day, they're gonna be like, oh shit, this must be a tune. Like, do you know what I mean? So yeah, good luck. I think you just need luck on your side.
Out of interest, do you know how much that 80k is raised in terms of funds or anything?
I don't know. I think you get like 0.007 pence for a stream.
Is it cheap?
Yeah, I think like last time we checked the account, I think it was like 200 quid in there, but that was for all 3 songs. So I was like, get in. That's
still something, though.
Yeah, that's still something, though. We don't do it for that, so like, do you know what I mean? I'm not here to be like, stream money.
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere.
Because you could put that money like, into like ads and stuff on a
That's
next
what
song.
we do, yeah. Literally just reimburse it. It's like with the merch, like, which is selling incredibly well. Like, when we like sold out, we're like, should we keep the money? We're like, no, just keep like going through. We got new merch en route. Like, just, yeah, like a cycle of money. Never taking it out. Like, you know what I mean? Reinvesting in the band. It's a smart thing to do. But, yeah.
So more new music coming soon?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Glass Jag's got 2 singles on the rocks ready to go. Delayed because Corona delayed the gig, so we want to like have it out when we play our first show.
So it's releasing the next week then?
No, didn't say that. Might be a shock drop, you never know. With Tyrants, I think. Honestly, Kane, my guitarist, all the boys in them are writing machines. Like I remember, I think it's improved me so much. Like where I left Getters, and it helps with Glass Jag too. I was like, right, I got sluggish with it, and then I met Kane. So I knew Josh before, and Josh introduced me to Kane and Ben, respectively guitarist and drummer. And Kane's a writing machine. I'm like, how do you do it? And like, obviously with like Getters, the riffs were quite easy. Kane's there like, yeah, so you need to play this and doing some like crazy stuff. And I'm like, oh, so what's the bass line? And he's like, oh, the same thing. And I'm like, great, amazing. Yeah. I remember before practice, I was like, yeah, mate, I need you to WhatsApp me the whole set and a playthrough. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I need everything on tab, like a tab book almost. So give me a digital tab book, please. So yeah, it just like helped the writing process so much. And then rejuvenated me because now I'm writing like that. I'm like, right, yeah, I got to write to that level. Because I don't want Kane to hear like, people to hear want to turn songs and be like, oh, Kane wrote that one. Then like, oh, what's this next one that's not as good? And they're like, oh, Toby wrote that. So I'm like, oh no. Like, so yeah, I think he rejuvenated my like thought process into writing and like how things sound.
Do you think it's good then to be a bit incestuous with bands and be in more than one to learn from other bandmates in different ways?
Yeah, I think it's good to be incestuous. This sounds weird with musicians. Like, I think just learning from other musicians from other genres always helps. Like, where I did Getters for 4 years. I want to say 4 years. Yeah. It was like I was only talking to indie musicians. Obviously, I was listening to other music, you know, obviously over those 4 years. I was strictly like, yeah, mate, Arctic Monkeys, that's all I listened to. Like, obviously, I was listening to other genres and everything. But I think going into different types of music and trying to play different types obviously helps your writing because then you can then probably take that type and put it in another type and then you get a subgenre. Wow. Do you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, definitely on that question.
What the guys in Tyrants are a little bit older, aren't they?
Josh and Ben are, yeah.
Yeah. What's it like working with people who are a bit older and more experienced?
They're more serious.
Yeah, is it like... Are they...
No, Ben and Josh are goofs, bro. Them two are weird. No, I love them, really. No, Josh and Ben are legends, man. I think I learn a lot, I think, financially. With Getters, I think I'd go on the road and I'd be like, yeah, Mackey's every night. I keep mentioning McDonald's. I'm going to look like a fatty. I'm so sorry. Takeaway every night. W.H. Smith meal deal because that's all that's open. I think going with Josh and Ben and even Kane, like financially taught me a bit more because obviously they're older and they know like obviously when I was 18 I was probably on like a part-time job or like full-time job after college, like just like yeah, screw it, no financial responsibilities. And I'm like shit, financial responsibilities, that sucks. So yeah, and like actually Ben had never been in like a touring band before. And Josh hasn't been in a band, correct me if I'm wrong, like for 8 or 10 years, I think, before that. Me and Kane had been in active bands. Kane had like was in a band called Boys, which have a chunky like tune on Spotify, which is on like 200k, I think.
Wow.
Might be more, like they were proper good. But they were indie as well. Kane was in the same boat. And we came to practice and I was like, oh, you're an indie band? He's like, yeah, you were too. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, let's rock. Like, School of Rock montage of us like writing riffs and like getting heavy, kicking the distortion pedal. Like, yeah, finally it's time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're all young at heart. Like, I'm still, you know me. Like, yeah, they still like, Toby, calm down. Like, don't have free monsters before the show. And I'm like, it's free Stellas.
Have
free
you been
monsters.
doing that?
Oh, mate, I'm the worst, man. Because, like, here's my, in life, my one tip in life for everyone is get the most expensive meal deal you can, regardless of what you like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like those multivit hits, all right? Some of them are tasty. I like the Tropicana multivit. But then they're like, oh, £2.99 smoothie on a £3 meal deal. If you're not getting that, you're an idiot.
Tell us your optimal meal deal. Like.
Oh, no, mine's got hate, bro. Mine gets hate. I remember I did this on Facebook once, and some guy was like, 2 out of 10, this guy's nutritionist. I was like, it's not about nutrition. All right.
It's about value.
Where are we going first?
We'll go Boots.
Oh my God, we're going to buy shop.
We're going to go...
Bougie Boots. Bougie Boots. See, I'm a tuna and cucumber guy.
Oh, man.
I know, hate me. But if I'm going on the optimal, you know, like, there's always 2 sandwiches, and then you get, like, the triple bread.
triple decker,
yeah.
Come on. Extra sandwich for... Come on. Put it in the fridge for later after your shift or after... Come on. Drinks, it's always going to be a Monster. Or if they have it. Or any energy drink. I'm the worst for caffeine. I've run on it. Probably the same, like, I love coffee too. And then the snack. You know those little pepperami bites, the new ones? You had those? Insane.
Yeah.
High in protein. Delicious.
Do you eat them
Bit of a
as a
kick.
snack, or do you put them in the sandwich?
I've never thought of that. You're a genius. I'm going to text you in 2 hours and be like, mate, I love you. Mate, I've never thought of that.
Have you actually seriously had 3 monsters before a
Yeah,
gig?
I've had 3 months throughout a day, yeah. And my heart was like, I just casually, I don't think about it. I get told off, like, even my mum's like, you need to stop. And I'm like, cheers, mum. Like, buzzing off the walls, like, I think, like, but where, like, all day, I'm just like, you know, that's not even an excuse. I'll be sat in the car. We did, like, I think it was like a 4-hour journey to Plymouth the other day, which wouldn't be 4 hours, but the traffic was horrendous. And I think, like, I had, like, one of those, you know, you get the multi-pack 4 crates. And I'd gone through 3 in the back.
God!
Looked at him, been like, "Oh no!" Like, either I'm hitting a wall, or I'm physically going to be bouncing into a wall. Like, there was no.
What happened?
I was just in it.
Were you shaking?
I think so. Yeah, I think I'm pretty shaking now. Mate. I've had caffeine in the morning, but yeah, I think I was just there. Like, and the boys like, "This is like you're being weird, bro." And I was like. Actually, I remember outside Plymouth, outside the show, I was being a weirdo. So we were with our mates Fangs, and like, you know, I was just doing weird stuff, bro. Like trying to like do front flips in public, didn't land one. Like, you know what I mean? And I think Jesse from Fangs, who I just met, knew Josh before. I remember Jesse's looking at me like, this guy's weird, bro. Like, shout out Jesse and shout out Fangs. They're a really good band. They're not an entry level band, by the way, guys. So they're like proper. They're more like heavier than us, I'd argue. They're phenomenal, and their merch is great, though. I love a band with good merch. You know, when you see a band, like, sometimes I don't even know the band, but I'll be like, new arrivals on whatever site it is. You see, like, a good band with good merch, and you're like, right, now I'll check them out then, because they've got some cool T-shirts.
Who's designing your merch?
We've had a few artists. This is really bad that Josh, because Josh has a lot of creative mates where he's a bit older, like, he's been, like, doing the promotion side, and, like, he's done, like, gig posters and stuff in the past. He knows a lot of people. Elliot Tilley did our Apostle artwork, and that looks dope. That's really cool. And then Jesse from Fangs is doing our upcoming stuff. I know that. And then I remember, this is like Leak City, for like the EP art, we externally went and got someone who we saw on Instagram, who I don't know if I can name drop, but like you know when you like search it up?
Yeah.
I remember seeing there's a band called Malevolence, who are quite big at the moment. They played Bloodstock recently. I think it was Bloodstock or like Hellfest, something like that. And like their monthlies, I think, went from like 40k to 90k. Like this, it kind of went like a bit viral. This was the pit that you were like, right, I'm getting out the venue. I'm not even going to the bar, but it was outside. They're killer. Their artwork's proper cool. And then there's a band called Guilt Trip. You just see like I can like see these EPs, and then you go on like the credits, and you're like, right, that's the artist I want to pick, and that's how we got the new EP art for one of the newer EPs. So, new EPs? The new EP. I've just dropped. There's a new EP. There you go.
Can you tell us a bit about your routine before a gig? Are you quite superstitious in any way?
Monsters.
Apart from your 3 monsters?
No, I never was. I've never been super nervous for kind of any gig ever, really. Even with like Tyrants or Getters, I've never had that. Like, I just had my mum's wedding, and I was more nervous for the speech. I was like, oh, snap. But, like, for gigs, pre-rituals, what we've been doing in Tyrants is going dockle every morning, just getting a big breakfast as a team.
Sick.
Like, all the boys. Shout out to Alfie as well, our photographer. He's really cool. And all 5 of us. And just sit down, have a meal, and just, like, get your grub ready, get yourself filled up. Because, like, if you're in, like, that traffic jam where you're in, if I hadn't had that breakfast, like, I would have been starving, man. So just make sure your tummy's full, because you never know when you're going to hit a traffic jam. On stage.
That's such good advice.
You know, that's genuine sweet
Stay
advice.
full.
Stay full.
Eat your carbs.
You know, like sandwich, the bread comes first, whatever side you flip it. I saw that the other day. I saw that the other day. Whichever way I flip my life sandwich, the bread comes first.
Have you ever performed with someone who is quite superstitious, or has done, or have you been in a...
Me and Josh, Hevs, and I do this to everyone now, always use like ram heads together, just like, come on, hype each other up. Superstitious? No, I don't think I've ever played with someone like that. I've got a few, like, I think my pre-show ritual was probably getting all my gear wrong. I remember in Getter's deck, and now in Tyrant's Cane, I would like plug in the wrong way round. I'd be like, my life's over, everything's broke. Oh no, I'm gonna have to shell out £2,000 on all new kit, and like they'll be like, you're not plugged in. I'll be like, sweet. Oh, cheers, guys. Great. And it's like I'm that stupid guy, like and share, like, you will obviously know Jake Wilcock from all his other great bands. Shout out to all of them, they're lovely. Like the amount of times I'll text Jake or FaceTime and he's like, mate, I'm with my family, what are you doing? I'm like, please Jake, help me now. My bass is turned down. Like he'd be like, have you turned the bass up? And I'm like, cheers buddy, I'll pay you £20 to FaceTime me. And it's like, you're not even turned on. I'm like, oh no. Like I'm a tech idiot. Like even with iPhones, I'm a granddad. Like practicality, I'm like sweet, but like I'm like, let me carry all the gear in, guys. And it's like, please set up my stuff for me. Like,
you're the bulky one, yeah.
I am, yeah. I'm the bolo guy.
I was thinking this, Dan. If we were in a metal band, what do you reckon we'd call it, and what pieces do you reckon we'd play?
Ooh,
I don't know, mate. Who'd be on vocals? Do you think is there a certain type of person who's on vocals? Do you need?
Do you reckon you've got to be a bit?
I've actually got a voice that breaks a lot. I go high.
Have you?
Yeah, I was playing football the other night, actually. I was playing football with, I play on a Friday with Ricketts. And
Sam told me about you playing, yeah.
And I was running down the wing, shouting for the ball. I was like, Dan! There's another guy.
Your voice break.
I was like, Dan! Completely broke, mate. And everyone,
mate.
The game just stopped. The game just stopped and everyone was just hounding me, laughing at me. I was like, oh, fuck.
It happens to me so much, man. I get voice breaks.
So worse. It was so bad.
You want a voice break off, mate? I'm surprised it doesn't happen on this podcast. Like, I know that feeling. It sucks, doesn't it?
Every time,
me, bro. I'm there like, oh, guys.
I'm establishing myself. I'm like at a good position, and that happens.
Trying to be
like,
alpha, and then that
back
happens.
to square one.
Yeah.
We were filming with Duke Watkins, mate, the boxer, at the Blunsdon gym, and we've just finished that Wrapped, really cool, really nice guy, and we're just leaving, and Dan's like, Luke's like, all right, see you later, lads, and then I'm like, yeah, see you later, Luke, and Dan's like, bye, Luke.
Oh no. Oh, bro. Oh, no. I know that pain. I forgot what the original question was, beyond the voice breaks.
No idea, man.
Oh, what
would you play?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
What would our band name be? It'd be like Amphibious Dogs or something.
Amphibious
Yeah,
Dogs.
because like
Pretty
Ottr.
strong.
Yeah.
Yes. Nice.
That
Two
works,
kinds
doesn't
of
it?
species. I love it. Amphibious Dogs.
Bring
Might
it together.
steal that.
You'd be good on drums, I think, Dan.
Drums?
Yeah. You've got big arms, a nice torso.
Yeah.
Big arms. Everyone says I'm on drums. Whenever we used to get the train, we used to be like, oh, we're in a band. Guess what you're playing? Everyone would be like, you, drums. I'm like, no.
I'm the bassist.
Yeah, just 'cause I'm a thick guy. Drummer's arms are always like jacked, man. I remember I see Dan, he'd just be vascular. Same with Ben. I'm like, damn, bro.
You a fan of Nile Rodgers?
Who?
The bassist, Nile Rodgers?
I genuinely don't know who that is. And
Wow.
I'm probably about to get killed.
Oh, yeah, that's I'd expect to know.
Tell us
that.
more about Nile Rodgers.
It's just like, Josh, you know Nile Rodgers? Is he a guitarist?
That's probably why I don't thank you, Josh. Josh just covered my back.
Thank you, Josh. We'll cut that out.
Here we go. Josh going to pull it out.
Oh, you have a screen. It's like Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Nile Rodgers.
Oh, he is a guitarist.
What band's he in?
He does play bass, though, I think, as well. Does he not?
He's in Chic.
His Chic.
He's done a lot of stuff with Daft Punk as well.
Has he? Rest in peace,
this
Daft
guy.
Punk. Did you guys watch that video where they're like...
Yeah.
I was like, no!
They'll come back, mate. They'll come back.
You reckon?
We'll just have to believe.
I believe every night I pray for Daft Punk.
What are you listening to at the moment? Like you're not just purely listening to metal
No.
music, are you? You're into
I
everything.
might have to whap up the phone for this one.
Come on.
Have you seen that Pink Pantheress girl that's just came out?
Yeah,
I saw on TikTok. This is so bad. I'm a TikTok person.
it's that quite
like,
high pitched song, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Would you like it just for me?
Yeah.
It's like with that old school garage vibe. I remember, like,
It's that one.
Yeah.
when I open up work, like, if I'm opening or closing, I'll put, like, a metal album on whilst I'm doing the close down, and then, like, I'll switch to that. And I remember, like, co-workers, even at Volt, wherever I worked, they've been like, what the heck? What is this change? And I'm there like, come on. Yeah.
Have you got playlists?
Yeah.
Have you got like a?
Oh, mate.
Can you? Maybe maybe we'll
on?
get your Spotify playlist playing in the office at some point.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
A taste of Toby Pollitt.
Taste of Toby. Probably taste
Not
of
PG.
Monster and worrying.
The taste of Toby Pollitt. That's what you call the podcast.
I'm listening to. No, I really got into XTC recently.
Really?
Yeah, I
Swindon
went
band?
to see him at Vic, the tribute band, and I was like,
Sick.
hey, it's so sick. Obviously, everyone knows Making Plans for Nigel if you're from. So
Yeah.
Now I've got into what else am I into? Jose Gonzalez recently, bit of that. Shout out my mate Triggs, who's a rapper, real Triggs. He's real sick. Dire Straits, you read me. Sweet dreams are made of these. That's the shower song in the morning.
Mhm.
That's a banger.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, a lot of soft stuff actually. Really, I've been into. Have you heard the new Turnstile album?
Nope.
That slaps. Have
Yeah.
you ever watched Needle Drop? The Andy Fantano, the guy on YouTube. He's like a really harsh music.
Yeah.
reviewer.
He's a critic, isn't he?
Yeah, with the glass, he wears the flannels, right? That's a really sick Keith Haring shirt.
Thanks. Man.
That's cool. I like that. Your shirt's nice as well.
Thank you, yeah.
Graphic tees. I'm a nerd for it. Nerd for graphic tees. That album's sweet, and I think he gave it like a 9. And if he gives anything above an 8, I'll be like, right, I'll listen to that now. Not just because it's particularly him, but like because he's so harsh. But that Turnstile, I think it's called Glow On.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best listens I've like had first listen experience, like sitting down. Like I think to like an album, you need to listen to it way more than once. It's do you guys remember when Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino came out, that Arctic Monkeys album?
we listened to that in the car, didn't we, on the release, the day release?
Class. But like at first listen, I hated it.
That was a grower, that one. Not
Yeah,
a
that is a
massive-
grower.
yeah.
My friend Ollie.
So different to its previous albums.
To everything they've done.
Yeah, literally. So my mate Ollie, shout out Ollie Bentley, the photographer. Ollie like got me into that album. So I mean, I gave it one listen, and I was like, not into it. And I think we were driving to Bournemouth, and he was like, he has a CD player. And I'm like, what CDs you got? And he's like, it's this. And then like 80s hits. And I was like, it has to be that. I love 80s hits, but I was like, I'm going to the beach. I want to be smooth, baby.
Yeah.
And that became like me. That's, you know, you have an album like a friendship or an artist. That was like our album. We're like, yeah, sweet. Whenever we go on drives, and I'm like, mate, Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino on. And like Golden Trunk song slaps. Like that album's actually really killer. I could bang on about for ages. And the sound. And like the guy from Tame Impala, sorry I don't know his name. Josh, the guy from Tame Impala, what's his name? You got this. He worked in it. Is it like that She Looks Like Fun song? I swear he helped wrote that or something.
Kevin Parker?
Oh, he knew it off the bat, bro. Just come
on,
in,
Josh.
Josh.
Josh knows his stuff.
Josh, you make it. I look like a
Josh-
like music.
Josh looks like a Tame Impala fan, though, doesn't he?
Josh is massively into Parcels. You heard of them?
Parcels.
Yeah.
No.
You should give them a listen. He fucking loves them.
Really? I'll give
Yeah.
him a shot. Parcels. Well, like Royal Mail parcels. Like not like, but the word like spelt like. Parcels.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. So that album's incredible.
Yeah.
Tame Impala are incredible too.
Talking about your time when you're packing down bars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How was it working? So you've gone from Mackenzie's to the Vault to now
The Jovial Monk.
Jovial Monk. What was it like working at the Vault?
The Vault was wicked.
Obviously, like family related.
Yeah,
there,
family.
so
I got Matt,
new
who's my
band as well.
stepbrother, and Alex, who's an amazing boss, and like Nippy Rian. I can name the whole team. Like it was wicked. The time I did there, learned so much from cocktails. Like shout out to like Nippy. He's like mega. Taught me so much about cocktails. But like, I'd been like, do you guys remember my tweet or like my Instagram thing about the booking?
Yes,
Yeah,
mate.
yes. Don't hit me up.
So like, yeah, don't like. I was
Just
getting,
made me want to hit you up more.
Well, you guys are obviously
we showed you. We looked at it.
We
didn't
did.
under the
Shall
table.
we?
Yeah, you were the first. I think.
Yeah.
I remember you're like, hey man. No, you put a status 2 hours ago saying don't book through me, but can I book through you? And I think I was
That's
saying,
literally
like,
what I said.
yeah, I think I was like, oh, I love you, but like, I love all of you. Like,
But
you
fuck
two I'll
off.
sort out. But I was getting randomers message me, like, because like Mackenzie's was so packed off that post-COVID, because everyone just wanted to go out, didn't they?
Post-COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was that first time.
We went to Mackenzie's after, and it was
I got
the first weekend it was open. It was rammed.
Yeah, mate. You know the Swindon Advertiser took pictures because like everyone, no one obeyed the rules. In one, you can see me just in the corner having a cigarette and a breakdown. It's like 200 people stood up, and like the headline's like, "No one in Mackenzie's is enforcing the rules." And I think I went out there, tried like, "Oh, buddy, like, come on, like." This is no fault of the company. Like, it was the people. Like, people were obviously savage. Like, Mackenzie's was an awesome place to work. I have nothing bad to say about it. But everyone's like, screw this guy. We're out again. And I was there like...
And they're drinking, right? So,
So, yeah, it was tough, man. So I went from there. All three of them were awesome. Not a bad thing to say about any of them. But I think where, like, Old Town's just crazy. I spend a lot of my free time in Old Town anyway. So I was like, oh, man, I just don't want to be here all the time. Because Old Town's a party, man. I mean, did you guys find when obviously in the old office, did it ever just tempt you to be like, oh...
All the time.
Yeah.
As soon as summer hits, mate, it was like... Dan's dad stays at the bottom of Old Town.
Yeah.
So we had like a saying, like, you staying at your dad's tonight. And that was like insinuating, should we go get pissed?
Yeah.
Going out.
Free, like, not free hotel, but yeah, free place to stay. Yes, sweet as. It was the same with Hevs. Like, me and Hevs would finish at Mackenzie's. Or, like, Hevs would do the day shift, I'd do the night shift. And then, like, we'd finish, and I'd be like, Vic... Unless you stayed at your dad's tonight, Hevs, because he lives like near the Marriott, and they were like, yep. So yeah, it was just too crazy, man.
Is the Vic that you'll go to in Old Town?
Pardon?
It's the Vic you'll go to.
Oh yeah,
every time.
Yeah.
If the Vic's closed, where would you go?
I don't know. No, if the Vic's closed, where would I go? I've popped in the Vault a couple times. I love seeing the team. Obviously,
that can't be your drinking hole, though.
No, it's too expensive. Yeah, no. I like a lager. I like a pint of lager. It genuinely, like, now I don't work there, I like Mackenzie's. Like, when I worked there, I was like...
Every time I've gone in there, that you can have such a fucking good night at Mackenzie's.
Yeah,
but I always think,
class.
I'm glad I don't work here.
Yeah, it was savage. It was the busiest place I worked. Actually, Roaring Donkey, shout out to Donkey Dave. Roaring Donkey is the one. That is the watering hole. It's just such a pubby pub.
Yeah.
Like,
and I like how it's on a back road as well.
Yeah,
tucked away.
But it's obviously, you know Luke, my barber.
Yeah, Luke Knotts, yeah.
I have an amazing trim at the moment, but it's wet, and I got out of the shower, and I broke my hairband, so sorry, guys, you're not going to see it, but Luke has given me a lovely fade at the moment. But
shower Luke.
That whole bit is just so cool, because you got like, Luke's barber place, and then you got like the Roaring Donkey, and I think, is it Oink opposite?
Yeah.
Which is sick. There's some cool artwork in there. But yeah, I've got the two things I need right there. Have a trim, have a beer.
Sounds pretty sick. Have you got any standout stories from like working in Mackenzie's? Anything that ever kicked off, or do you ever like have to kick someone out because they were like having sex in the corner or something?
The worst one.
Do you ever see any frisky shit in there?
I don't know if I get in trouble. I'll tell you some other stories about. All right,
some
I remember.
Stories.
You know those stairs are on the side. So you know as you enter Mackenzie's on the right.
Oh yeah, inside. Yeah.
So you know those stairs, right? I remember I had the longest day once, and like at the end of the day, it's like right, can someone go upstairs and get everyone's stuff? I was like, sweet. Now, I had a bag, and I think it was just filled with, like... Might have even been beers, not from the like, bar, but like, just my beers in general.
And Monster Energy.
And I was just probably Monster cans. 4-pack times 2. Big material. A meteorite of caffeine. And I remember I just walked down, I was like, oh, fuck this, man. Fucking long day. It's 3 a.m. I want to go home and listen to some fucking cool albums. And I just throw my bag down the stairs. Manager, Liam, sorry about this, Liam. Liam will tell this story and be like, I hate Toby for this. Walks around the corner, my bag just hits Liam in the face, floors him. And he's like, ah! And I'm like, oh, well, I'm so fired. I was like, oh no, like, frisky shit. I never saw any frisky shit, I don't think. I think that's more happens in the places you go after.
Yeah.
In the vicinities outside of Mackenzie's. I mean, like, Mackenzie's toilets aren't really the most private things. They're right next to each other, aren't they? God, I don't want to sound like I'm sounding off Mackenzie's podcast. I love Mackenzie's. But,
yeah, we all do in this room.
Yeah, all of us love Mackenzie's. Especially the spirits of Mackenzie's. But yeah, no, it's just wild, isn't it? It's cool. It's a cool place. And like, but yeah, I remember I was just a dick. You remember I used to get shirtless on the bar. I got a disciplinary for that.
You got shirtless on the bar?
Oh, mate, I was like, mate, MGMT would come on. All along the Western Front.
That's not the song I thought he was going to say.
What did you think? Britney Spears, Toxic. No, that song come on. I remember I did it once as a joke, like to make. I think I was like, yeah, let's make the team laugh. Then every week they're like, Saturday, like MGMT's on, get shirtless, and like none of the management said that. That was all everyone else. And I'm like, yeah, screw it, it's funny. And then 5 seconds later, like, no, and I'm like, sorry guys. Like, it's funny at the time. Yeah, it's probably me getting frisky. That was probably it.
Do you think you suit the role as barman quite well? Do you like it? Do you enjoy it? Because you're quite eccentric.
Yeah, I think, you know when you type in hipster barman on Google Images. Actually, just doing now. Type in barman, I bet he has a beard and tattooed arms. Barman. Or just barman, not even hipster barman.
That's exactly
Yeah. Beard. Look at that third image, Josh. Hold up, that third image.
Look at the coloured hat as well. On the
It's the same colour, isn't it?
Jesus
Literally,
Christ.
yeah. All of them, beard. There's not one without facial hair, is
You
there
had
not?
the aprons as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I had the apron too, yeah.
Nice.
It's the barman look, isn't it? It is, I don't know. I think it definitely helps in the process of being like the cool bar, yeah. They just all do have tattooed, yeah, look.
Man.
How was it working at the Vault though? Like
Vault's class,
Yeah.
loved it.
big-
Different environment.
the big doorman, what's his name?
Gary,
He's
legend
solid,
in the
isn't he?
game. Legend, mate. He's so funny, but like, I remember, like, I used to see him like revs, and I'd be like, this guy is a behemoth. Like, this man is a mammoth of a man, like the mountain from Game of Thrones. And I remember, like, he came to the Vault, and I was like, I was still like, oh, I'm intimidated, man. This guy, he is the loveliest man on earth. Like,
Yeah.
I talked to him for hours, man. He's a like mega dad, super cool. Talks about anything. Gary can talk for hours, and I could talk to Gary about hours. And I'll just have, if like it was like a slow day, or like it was just like one of us needed on bar, I'd just go outside and chat to him. And he's so class, and he's so professional. But he loves ginger beer. He would sink ginger beers all the time. And I remember it got to the point where I'd just start pouring ginger beers, like ready for him on shift. I'd be like, there you go, mate. And he'd be like, cheers, bro. Yeah, cool guy. But he is huge, isn't he?
Did you get people who would try and take him on in the bar?
I don't think anyone's ever tried to take Gary on.
Nah.
I wouldn't.
They probably see him and think, I'm going home.
Mate, it's between between a hard place and between Gary. Like, do you know what I mean? He's so nice as well, but like, yeah, I wouldn't try him. He's huge.
Yeah. That's the convenient thing about being that size, though, is like,
Yeah.
you probably aren't going to get in much trouble because people
No.
just think, fuck that.
But he's like got a great. He never like starts on me. He's amazing. Gary's such a legend. But I
His
don't think
beard is
anyone's-
huge as well.
He's huge,
His
dude.
beard is massive.
Oh, his beard, yeah, but mate, he's so big. If you throw an apple, it'd waver because he's got his own gravitational pull. He's got that much mass.
Yeah, it's got orbit.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, he has orbit probably. Like, damn. I remember, shout out to his mate. Do you guys know Alex Marshall? This is he's a legend.
It rings a bell, but I can't picture it. No.
He used to play bar fight. He's one of like Gary's mates and our mates. But them two together, they
Is he a doorman too?
No, I don't. I don't know. I don't think Alex is though. But them two are just two huge dudes. You see them together, and I'm like, damn, they look like a wrestling duo. I'm like making me look like Rey Mysterio. You know what I mean? I'm like, whoa, these dudes are huge.
Do you think you could cut it being a doorman?
Oh, see, I've had this question a couple of times. No, I'm too nice. I'm way too nice. Imagine my face like, get out, buddy. Not. I'd be like, yeah, have a shot. No, I have. I've had doorman in the past because obviously when I'm quite broad and all that. They're like, oh mate, you should get your license. You should do it, bro. I would. I'm so easy. Like, fuck it. Like,
Go on then.
yeah,
Hit that guy, go on, yeah, he does it.
No, not hit anyone. No. I'll just be like, that's a lot of responsibility too. Like, I think it's enough responsibility being a bartender. Like, where you're like, like, IDing people. I'm so strict on it. Even at like the Joe where I work, like the pub, I'm like, ID, challenge 25. Like, and I don't know where the liability lies because like sometimes it can be on the bar, sometimes it can be on the door. But like, nah. I'm not built for it. I'm not built for it. I'm not aggressive. No, you need to be aggressive. I'm sure, like, you can be professional, but, like, too much going on, man. And, like, I guess a lot of work Saturday and Sunday nights and Friday nights at bar, like, doorman. I mean, so it is for bartenders, but, like, with the band and all that, couldn't probably do it, you know what I mean?
Have you ever told someone you've had enough?
Oh, yeah.
A lot?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's happened. Oh,
Series
had enough.
Yeah.
He's like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely had moments where I'm like, mate, you're cut off. You've got to, not even because, like, they're annoying you, but, like, for their own safety, you've got to cut them off. Like, there are times where you, like, because if they get too drunk and then fall over, it's, like, liable on you.
Really?
Yeah.
As a barman?
As a barman, like, yeah, if you decide to keep serving them when they've clearly had enough, and, like, every bar you work out or any pub, they'll train you and be like, right, glassy eyes, slurred speech, like, this is all the spiel to know that someone's way too pissed. So, yeah, like, there's times I've cut people off because they've been dicks, and there's been times I've cut people off because they are too drunk. And, like, I mean, at the time, they'll probably swear at you, but you got to stay strong. In the morning, I've had customers come back and be like, I'm so sorry.
Really?
Someone stole the sanitizer from one of the places I worked at once. I don't know which one it was. And I remember, like, he came back with it.
I rate
sorry. Stole the sanitizer, like, full turbo. And I think it was just when, like, that whole thing started. So we're like, you just need to get enough sanitizer. And I'm fucking like, that shit was sparse like petrol because obviously like everyone needed it.
It's funny, we're like that. Every time we get pissed at the tap, I always text Fish the next day. Yeah. Sometimes he hasn't even worked the night before, and I'm like, I'm so sorry about last night if I was rude. And he's like, you're fine, Ben. I'm like,
oh, mate.
Okay, just wanted to put it out there.
Beer fear is my biggest like fear in life. I hate beer fear. I've woke up like not even like hungover, but I wake up and I've had 2 beers and I'm like, oh shit, what have I said? What have I said? Who have I offended? What have I done? Like, beer fear is my one of like fears in life. I think so. There's times I won't drink, so I'm like, I don't want that feeling in the morning and be like, oh sorry mate. And they're like, oh you did this or that.
Yeah.
Sorry to Donkey Day for all the times in the donkey I've probably got way too drunk. Sorry, Donkey.
Sorry, Donkey.
Yeah. Dave's seen me and Hev's are worst. Yeah.
Dan, you got a question for Toby?
Yeah, so we asked these questions. I don't know, have you been teed up on the questions?
He hasn't been.
Oh, right, fair enough.
Okay.
So it's not too tricky. But one of the questions is talking about, obviously, with the branding through the window.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about a window that you've looked through that's stuck out to you? It could be metaphorical window, maybe it's a window in your life, or it could be a physical one. Maybe you've been travelling somewhere and you've seen something pretty sick. Yeah.
When we played Paris, it's a window to a balcony, I guess, but like, yeah, that was a physical window. I remember we had like a really high up. Bear in mind, I'm super asthmatic, man. Like, they were like, oh yeah, you're on the top floor. I'm like, how many floors? No elevator? 9 floors. I was like, oh hell no. So I'm up there dying, like, oh, but it was all worth it for actually this like view, this window, and it was onto a balcony, like. Just, you know, the ones you can just kind of step on. It's not like a grand balcony. It's just like the one you can just kind of step on and have a cigarette. That was a sweet physical window.
What was the views?
Just this street. Because you're so high up, you can kind of peer over the houses to the next street. It's just a high Parisian street. It was really cool.
Sick.
Windows. Self-window. Love yourself. I think in lockdown I learned that, like, where it was so hard to work out, kind of, I guess not a window, but reflecting on myself, I was like, mate, you just got to learn to love yourself. I think that's the most important thing for mental health, is being comfortable with yourself, rather than how everyone else sees you through their window.
Yeah, that's cool.
True.
And one time I snuck out a window to smoke some weed when I was 40. That's what I thought you were going to say. I remember one time I snuck through a window with my friend who I won't name at his house, and we went outside and smoked some weed. And I fell back through the window and woke up his mum. That's another story there. But yeah. Everyone else's window. Don't care about their windows. That's what I'd say. Care about what you see through your window.
It's all about your own. Care about your window before someone else's.
Don't care about anyone else's view of yourself. Care about your view.
It's got really wholesome all of a sudden. It's quite nice.
I'm a wholesome dude.
That's pretty sick.
Cool. Yeah.
Toby, where can people find you online?
Where can they find me? On the street of Old Town, opposite the Roaring Donkey. Spotify. Tyrants, Glass Jaguar will be there soon. Instagram, Toby_Pollitt, and then Tyrants Band UK and Glass Jaguar UK, I think it is, or Glass Jaguar Band. That's me, baby. That's where I am.
Cool.
Sick.
See me in the Jovial Monk sometime, looking cool. I'll pour you a pint.
Pouring pints.
Oh yeah, pouring pints. And I don't have a cool rhyme. I should have prepared last time, remember when we did the last podcast, I came with that really cool intro. I don't have a cool outro this time. I'm just going to do like 4th camera break. Like that, and then you can just cut it there.
That's good. That's awesome.
If you don't cut it there, now I look like an idiot. But like, yeah, if it cuts there, like, or like, you know, like when what is that show? Always Sunny. You know when it ends like,
yeah,
mama, like with the credits, and like just edit like directed by Ottr Works, and, like, starring Toby. That's the best show on earth. God, I don't want to stop. Sorry, go on.
Cool. No, I think that's good, mate.
Mega.
We'll probably just stop at you staring at the camera. I think that'd be funny.
Full wall, right? Screw it.
Lovely stuff.
Mate, mega.
How's that, all right?
Yeah, class, man. Wicked.